So we're going to do our top 5 Twisted Sister deep cuts. Now, I don't know what's considered a deep cut, Mark. What's the definition there?
Deep cut is something you need stitches for.
Welcome to Top 5 with Joey Cassata. Starring Joey Cassata.
Team Jesus, my friend. Am I walking around, Mark?
Co-starring Ernie Palooza. And the Doctor, Tommy Snyder.
Goddamn.
Now here's your host, Joey Cassata.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Top 5. I'm your host, Joey Cassata. As always, my boy.
Hey, I'm Captain Howdy.
Ernie, how are you today, sir?
I'm great. Excited about this.
We have a lot of special guests with us tonight. First, we're going to introduce your long-lost brother, Rob. How are you, Rob?
Doing well. I'm glad I made it here for the special night here.
Well, we had...
Robin. Sorry, I couldn't.
No, go ahead, Eddie.
No, he's robbing people, I say. He's robbing.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great.
Robbing.
Thanks for having me here.
Well, we had to have Rob on because of these other two gentlemen we have on tonight. None other than Mark and Eddie from Twisted Sister. Hello, guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
So, I grew up a big Twisted fan. I know Ernie's a big Twisted fan. Rob is the uber Twisted fan among all of us. We're so excited to have you guys on to talk a little Twisted. We're going to be talking about my show is called Top 5. So even though we're just going to have a fun conversation, we got to do a list of top 5, right? So we're going to do our top 5 Twisted Sister deep cuts. Now, I don't know what's considered a deep cut, Mark. What's the definition there?
Deep cut is something you need stitches for.
Oh, this is going to get real funny. It's true, but it's as far as records go, it's a track that didn't get much attention, but it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I always think of it. It's not so much that it's a deep cut, everyone doesn't know it, but I would think the mainstream audience might forget about this song over the years.
Yes. Especially now.
Especially now.
These days,
No, I mean, listen, you guys, over the last 20 years, you're more popular than ever, right?
It's very true. I mean, we headlined all the festivals, the big festivals, for 14 years in a row. And back in the day, we didn't headline. So we ended up going out with a bang at Seinfeld, except Seinfeld made a lot more money. A lot.
I mean, of course, I have to bring it up. Everyone always wants to ask this question. There's so many bands that farewell tours and goodbye tours and kiss me goodbye and all this other shit. Right. Any chance of you guys coming back to do a show here and there?
Play Lotto first.
I really doubt it. I mean, I never say never because there may be a chance that some special occasion,
we don't
an event, some kind of.
We don't like each other enough to do it.
Well, if the price is right, definitely we can like each other.
Exactly. Never say never.
Change for me. It just.
There's always like a price, where you reach, like you just say, hell no, I don't want to.
Yeah, or an event like what brought you guys back in 2001, right?
Yeah.
So
we don't want to go through that again.
No, but you know what I'm saying. You never know. If I would have asked you the same question in 2000, I guarantee you would have said no, right?
Yeah, sure. Probably. But what happened with 9/11, and also we were all pretty broke. So that's another good reason to get back
So
together.
for me, it was a bigger event than my hatred for the rest of the guys.
Yeah, it's it was some really good offers started coming in. We didn't expect that to happen, and it did. And then it's just been great for all the way until to the last tour. But that's like 14 years we got. I thought in the beginning, and I think Mark would agree, we probably thought this was going to be like 2 or 3 years, maybe. We didn't think that this would go for 14 years.
2 or 3 shows.
Well, yeah, we kind of, in the first year or so, it's like, well, let's just go, just this summer, maybe we'll get this. But every summer it just got better and better, and these festivals were bigger and bigger. We got better offers, and we paid the top festivals,
Absolutely.
Pop, like 100,000 people,
We didn't do a farewell tour. We just fizzled out.
Well, the thing was, it wasn't really, our last gig was in Mexico, which is like a weird place for our last, it was a big festival. It was really rainy. It was muddy. And it's really hard to play under those circumstances. I mean, we still did the show and everybody was into it, and it was definitely kind of special. There was a lot of laughs that day, if I remember.
I said it was a fizzle.
But it wasn't. It was kind of not exciting. It was like,
Yeah, it was fizzled out. There was no farewell tour. We just, okay, that's the last date. We fizzled out, man.
Yeah, we never really called it a farewell tour, did we?
No, not at all. That was just
we said 40 and part. Can I curse on this?
Of course.
Well, I'll say F it. 40 and F. It was, and I think people got the message.
How did it feel leaving that stage that last night?
Not good, because it was, like I said, it was uneventful. It was, I mean, nobody left. Everybody was there in pouring rain in the mud, and it was good for that. But as far as, you want like Sweden Rocks or something like that, or Get Grass Pop, one of those shows would have been a much cooler way to, finish the show out. You know what I mean? The last show, at least. At least that's what I felt about it. So
it fizzled out, man.
Yeah, it sounds like a good reason to do one more, boys.
It was like a match just going out after you burn your fingers. That's what happened.
Wow.
And they were like, there was a guy selling street tacos outside of the hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
50 cents, little tacos.
Tacos.
That was dinner.
But street vendor. They were good. They were good.
Ooh, they were very good.
I like that. That's what you guys remember about the last show. the street vendor tacos.
I
We
say that.
didn't like go to the bar and have a delay. Everybody just went to bed.
Anybody to think that Mexico was
Street tacos.
it was had a massive amount of metal fans there, and the fans are incredible. So this is no reflection on our fan base in Mexico.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, the show is great. It really was, even though it was the conditions were horrible. But what I'm saying has nothing to do with the fans, absolutely, because they were incredible.
The fact that they stayed there
Yeah,
and watched, I mean, I wouldn't have stayed. Unless it was the Beatles or something. I don't know.
Eddie almost didn't stay. Right home before the show.
He was out front getting tacos.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Eddie was saying a famous line by someone else. I was so pissed off I had to leave before I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say?
The
So-
mud too. Like muddy.
We have a little history with you guys. Obviously, me with ZO2, we had the pleasure of opening for Twisted on numerous occasions. Always a amazing show. Mark would threaten my poor lead singer on every night and would probably make him throw up before every show. It was glorious.
I remember correctly, the band you opened for was Bent Brother, actually.
You're
Yeah,
right.
It was good for us too.
Yeah, we did Twisted a couple times, but I think the first one was Bent Brother. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been over at the up in Poughkeepsie, the Chance?
The Chance, maybe, right? Or Starland, or one of those.
Starland, yeah. That's when we did the Bent Brothers stuff.
I used to say that Bent Brother does Twisted Sister better than Twisted Sister does.
Yeah, they do a really good
Same guy, you know.
They look better too.
Again, guys, we're big fans. Let's get to our choices. I have a feeling we're going to be arguing over some choices. I can't imagine, us arguing with you guys, but your choices are going to be better than ours. But I have a feeling us three will argue a little bit. So let's get to some choices and get some friendly banter. Mark, if you want to threaten my host at all, please be my guest. He thinks he's stronger than you anyway. So
You want a shot at the title?
No, but if you don't like my choice, I will change it. Just tell me.
All right, so what do you got to say then?
go ahead, Ernie. You're starting it. You're number 5.
All right, my list is pop heavy, but I'm Me was number 5.
That's number 5.
Yeah, but I Me is not a deep cut. It was a big hit.
It was a big hit in England. Yeah, it was a big single.
I know it was the biggest Twisted Sister hit in England, but in America, it never hit the charts.
No.
Is that something you guys played often live too?
Always.
You did?
In Europe, yeah, always.
But not here.
Sometimes here.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But Europe, we always played, especially in England. I mean, we had to play it.
Yeah, but all over Europe, we played it. We really did. We played it often in a lot of shows.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite Twisted songs. Why was there no video or an American push for that?
America's stupid. they dropped the ball on that one. It should have been a single.
I think it was just that Atlantic Records wasn't on board yet in America for us.
Right.
Yeah. We got on board after Stay Hungry. They said, "Oh shit, it sold records."
They should have even released a single in retrospect when Stay Hungry hit.
Good thing you didn't work for the record company.
Yeah, that would have been good. But it was like after the show because Me before Stay Hungry. So.
Yeah, but maybe people would have went back and bought the other record too, right? Did You Can't Stop Rock and Roll? Is that platinum?
No.
Not platinum?
No.
I think it went gold.
Gold.
I wonder after. I bet you if it probably hasn't been recertified in a decade or 2 decades at least, right? I bet you maybe it's platinum by now.
I hope so. Well, I know.
It'd be nice if it
Stay
is.
Hungry went triple.
But that's what I mean, especially since your resurgence after 2001. I bet you they haven't recertified since then, and people were still buying records in the early 2000s.
Yeah, now they're downloading them. So,
right.
I mean, we have to kind of believe what the record company says.
Never do that, Eddie. What are you talking about?
I know, right? It's like gotta kind of believe, but this, I mean, we can kind of monitor it better these days than we could back in the day.
Right. All right, Rob. They didn't love Ernie's first pick. What do you got?
Yeah.
Number 5.
I'll change it.
Wait.
No,
Let's clarify what we can't use, guys. Obviously, we can't use the price. We can't use We're Not Gonna Take It. We can't use I Wanna Rock. We can't use You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. And basically, like I Me, it was popular, but obviously it wasn't in that category. So I go, those I feel are the rules, right, Joe?
Well, listen, everyone makes up their own rules. I want to argue, so whatever you say, we're going to argue anyway.
I don't want to
Okay.
argue.
All right, I'm going to say, to me, this is a very, very underrated song. My number 5 pick is Wake Up the Sleeping Giant.
We got the numbers, we got the might, we got the strength, and we got the right, we got
Okay.
Good pick. Good pick.
All right.
So obviously this is a controversial record. So what, if the fans don't know, what's the story behind this record? Because I'm actually a big fan of this record too.
Love is for Suckers album?
Yeah.
It's for suckers.
There was a lot of weird stuff going on because Beau Hill produced that record.
Right.
And he kind of caused a lot of stuff within the band, you know. And there's a lot of bullshit going around that we didn't play on the record and all that crap, you know. I mean, he, you know, definitely, you know, what's his name played on. Me and him did all the rhythm tracks. Me and I can't think of his name now. You know, from guitarist. What's his name?
From not JJ, you're not talking about, right?
No. Beau Hill had his boy before.
Red Beach.
Red Beach, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That was his boy. He brought, like, whenever he did something, he would get him involved, and you know, that's kind of cool. I think he tried to do stuff like that with Rad as well. You know,
It's not
and,
cool.
you know,
He didn't need another. Nothing against Red Beach. He's an amazing guitar player and a great guy.
he's
But
a great guitar player, and he did a great job. He did what he wanted, you know.
Beau Hill didn't know what he was doing.
But Beau Hill, you know, there's people, you know, I played on every track. I did all my solos. Beau Hill, you know, and, you know, JJ did his solos. The only thing that Red Beach did was he played rhythm guitar on one side and I played rhythm on the other track, 2 tracks each. And we both basically played the same parts, you know,
Right.
just guitars. So, you know, I think, because D kind of said, listen, you know, Eddie can play anything. He's a studio guy. He's, you know, he's used to doing studio stuff and he can do anything Red can do. And, you know, and I think Beau Hill was kind of upset that I could do what I could do. You know, like, well, okay, well, I guess you know, like.
Hey, Eddie.
And he dressed like shit, too. The guys in Rat couldn't stand the way he dressed.
Definitely upset that you were a pro player. Definitely. I heard it. And I told him to knock it off. Yeah.
Yeah. And Franco played the drums, you know. And the thing was, the drums was, Franco did, he was one of the first guys, Joe Franco was one of the first guys to do drums, you know, electronic, had a really good electronic drum set.
Yeah.
And he was one of the first guys to be able to do that, which saved a ton of time, you know. And he had like an old Mac at the time, but it worked. I mean, it was, the drums, you know, he had some great drum sounds.
When they recorded the drums on Lovers and Suckers, he used an acoustic drum kit with triggers.
Triggers, right. Right.
Right.
And he was one of the first guys to use that technology.
Right. And obviously that's a common thing now, but back in, what was this recorded,
then it
86, 87, right? This is not a common thing.
No.
Yeah. Now it's so common. It's so easy to guys to track, you know. But yeah, that's what he did. And, you know, but there's some people that still think that we didn't play on the album. That's
crazy.
Like, Red Beach was the only guy that played rhythm guitar on the album. You know, JJ played his solos. You know, I played my solos. Red was a rhythm, you know, he did, you know, he played rhythm, and that's it. But, you know, rumors just fly. And
Of course.
And now Beau Hill's going around saying all kinds of bullshit that it's not true. I heard he did some interview, you know, probably from some fucking cave somewhere, you know, eating fucking M&Ms.
If I ever run into him again, I'll shut him up.
Yeah, he'll be bowed up.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate Beau Hill.
He better not see one.
What do you guys actually think of what do you guys think of the record, the finished product?
I thought it came out good. I think it was a little too slick for us. It wasn't that.
It was, you know, when you have producers who don't check out the band and what they're really about. First, let's go back a little bit further. It was supposed to be a Dee Snider solo album.
Yeah, I didn't know that till later.
Insisted that the band do it. So, so we did, because they really wanted us to do it. But Beau Hill never looked into what Twisted Sister was about. He never saw it live. He didn't care. He just did what he wanted to do, which we were always butting heads with him. There's no two ways about it. It was some pretty.
I'm surprised that we, being the kind of band we were, I'm surprised we put up with his bullshit, honestly. Because, you know, now he'd be thrown out on, we'd throw him out a window.
I would say
we would have thrown him right in the street.
We would say, pick a window, you're leaving.
Yeah. It's like hospital food.
Yeah, well,
You have to wake up with a crowd around.
three things, 911, something like that.
And what is he coming off of right there? What's his record right before that?
Rat. I don't think he.
Right. So he thinks he's a big deal. He wants to come in and make you guys sound like he wants to.
And how come he had a huge track record? I mean, I'm not going to take away what he's done. Just he didn't do the right thing by us. That's how we felt about it.
Right.
So, it was just he was insulting to some of the guys in the band.
It was he was bossy, insulting. Like, after you did something and say, okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Like nothing.
Right. No good job. Sounded great. Nothing.
Oh, good job. Hey, great, man. You did a great job. What a night. Like when we worked with Dieter Dirks, he would get excited. Everybody we worked with, would get excited, like after something, a good take or something, you know what I mean? And he was just no expression, it's almost like, you felt like, he made everybody just not feel good about being there. It's just like,
no, there was no love there, that's for sure. But he also wanted to bring on all his buddies to perform on the album, which Reb was the one we let do it at that point. There was such big arguments about it.
Right.
I'm surprised that we even let that happen, because it wouldn't happen after that. It's just, we just got kind of muzzled into that. I'm surprised that we put up with it. I'm surprised Dee did come to my defense a lot, as far as playing. And he told Beau, listen, he's playing on this. So that. And same thing with Mark and Franco. So that, we got our way, but he liked bringing in his boys. He's done that with a lot of bands he's worked with.
Yeah.
Likes to bring in his boys, and throw him some work. And
okay, you had of this now, Joe.
Yeah, he had a for him.
We had rapping Beau Hill for the last.
Yeah.
All right, that leads to you, Mark. What do you got? Number 5.
Number 5, a deep cut, huh? I can't go with the one with the stitches.
Well, if you want a slice of Ernie after the show, I'll send them to your house.
No. Please.
Oh, I don't know. There's so many. When you do interviews and people start asking you about the songs that the band plays, and I honestly do not dislike anything. I happen to really like everything we play. I never got tired of it, but unfortunately, it's really tough to say what's my favorite thing. But I have to say that there's some songs that we never really put out that are some of my favorites. And we had a song called "You Know I Cry."
So many times you moved me, but I know you really care. When I'm with you, things are alright. When I know that you'll be there, I can't let you walk out that door. I can't let you just say goodbye. I can't let you walk out that door. I can't let you, I cry, I cry.
That we played in the club days, which it's a phenomenal song. It really was. It's a little bit different than what we would normally do. It actually sounds like a Southern rock band at times playing the song, but to me, "You Know I Cry" or "Rock and Roll Saviors," these songs were the essence of what the band was in the early days.
The early songs,
yeah.
And these are not on anything?
Well, "You Know I Cry" is on a couple of live radio shows that we did back in the late 70s.
What on Club Days? Is it on?
But
Club Days, maybe?
Is it on Club Days? It's been so long.
Might be on one of the Club Days albums.
Yeah, "You Know I Cry" is one of my favorite ones. "Rock and Roll Saviors," "Comeback," a song called "Comeback."
Yeah.
It's funny. I texted Mike Portnoy right before today, and I asked Portnoy what his list was.
That's
and
wild.
you just named 3 of his 5 songs.
That's wild.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy.
He used to come see us in the early days.
Yeah.
And those were the songs we played. So he's kind of true to those songs. In fact, we did We did come back. No, we did Rock and Roll Saviors with him.
Yeah, we
That
did
night.
back
And
out.
we kind of messed it up in the middle. We started it over again. We said if we mess this up, we'll just start again. But we took it from where we messed up. And
Another one he picked was
that part.
another one Portnoy picked was At the White Castle.
Oh,
Where do you go at 4 a.m.? 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 Come on in. At the White Castle. All right. At the White Castle is out of sight.
that wasn't really a TF song. It was a goof.
I used to just do like a funky jiggity jiggity thing, like almost like a James Brown kind of riff.
God.
And it was At the White Castle. It ain't no hassle. It was just,
Where do you go at 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
Where do you go at 4 a.m.? And the crowd goes, we go to White Castle. And we had a train.
At the White Castle. So it was kind of like a real joke song that we never even took serious. And Chinese Hustle too was another one. Chinese.
You had to see me scrolling frantically through the Twisted catalog. I consider myself a pretty big Twisted fan, and when he sends me these songs At the White Castle, I said, dude, what the hell is this song? I don't know this song.
I can't believe you remember.
It was never a full song. It was like a.
Yo, it was funny as hell, man.
It was funny as hell. What we used to do in the club days, we did 2 full sets with D and did all our originals and copy music and everything that we did. And we did a 3rd set with
4 of us. Yeah.
we didn't have to blow out his voice.
Oh, okay.
So the
Just
3rd
me and
set,
JJ would sing.
all kinds of stuff that we didn't play during the night. Everything from like Wang Dang, Sweet Wu-Tang, Ted Nugent to Eddie. Eddie sang an incredible version of, and we did a 3-piece. John Lennon.
When the night has come,
Yeah,
the light is dark. Stand by me.
Stand By Me.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, phenomenal version of it. And we did it 3-piece. JJ would take a break too once in a while. And we did that 3-piece. And we did the Ted Nugent stuff 3-piece. And
Sweet Wu-Tang.
it was, that's when you really got to play and go pretty crazy on stuff.
Yeah, we used to jam out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You would add a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, these are deep, deep cuts. I mean, this is more than a couple stitches, Mark. These are...
They're never recorded cuts.
Wang Dang and Stand By Me aren't Twisted songs. They're
Yeah.
they were
Right.
The original, Stand By Me's been done by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I did like the John Lennon kind of version.
Which version?
John Lennon.
Oh yeah, well that's the original.
Solo.
It's an amazing version. But Eddie, we played a heavy version of it. I mean, it was
Yeah, it was bam. It was like kind of Van Halen doing it. You know what I mean? Like
Nice.
I would say
they didn't cover songs. It was that kind of vibe.
yeah, it was incredible. It really was. It was no like light touches for that song on either 3 instruments playing.
Right.
Eddie, well, I gotta say, Eddie sang the hell out of it. Really, one of the best things he ever sang was, Stand By Me. He reached for it and got it. He really did. Every time we did it.
Incredible.
And also the Priest song I used to sing too during the 3rd set. One of the memories can bring Diamonds and Rust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, same thing. We did 3-piece, Diamonds and Rust, and Eddie would sing the hell out of it. Yeah, without a doubt.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it was great. It really
I never did the real high
Right,
part.
the big Halford stuff, right?
Yeah, because I could have tried for it, but it's one of those things. Like I wasn't sure if do because it was like I had to do it in falsetto.
that far on a limb.
I wasn't going to go like and then like.
He did an incredible. I mean, and he did an incredible job playing guitar on this stuff too, singing and playing guitar. Yeah,
sing and play. But that's something you get used to. You gotta practice singing and playing. It's not an easy thing to sing and play.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that leads us to you, Eddie. I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember when you guys were joking around, joking around. I believe it was a Stone Pony when JJ did the SpongeBob SquarePants. You guys remember that?
Yeah, but he would get the audience to sing it back to him.
Yeah. I remember that. That was
Under the
hilarious.
sea, SpongeBob. Well, you thought that was funny. He did that at one of the monster festivals, or a couple in Europe, with his 80,000 people singing that to us. You know, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if it appears anywhere, but it was
funny stuff like that.
The place was packed. The place, they were packed. They were screaming, SpongeBob.
Imagine 80,000 people doing it.
I will search for a clip and hopefully insert it into this episode.
It might be somewhere.
You gotta let me know. You know,
I'll try to find it.
It was great because his daughter was very young at the time and into SpongeBob. So he would do a rap about his daughter enjoying it, and then he would get into the song. Does everybody know it? And of course, everybody knew it. So he started the song. Going, it's a metal concert. We're singing SpongeBob. It's great. I mean, I thought it was amazing touch. People loved it. Yeah,
crazy. I mean, you guys could have done anything, and they would have sung it back to you probably.
I mean,
there's nobody that worked the crowd better than Sister. Nobody.
It was fun too.
I got a question, Mark. Mark, how many bass guitars did you break? I never seen anybody hit. Honestly, did you ever break your guitar on stage?
I'm gonna break it.
I gotta ask that question.
More stupid questions.
Oh.
I don't smash a guitar. You will never find me smashing a guitar unless someone shouldn't be playing what they're playing. But like in Animal House, you smash the guitar. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about.
I know that scene, of course, Belushi.
Basses have broken from me, you know,
playing it
and banging on things. And I remember. Eddie will remember this one. We played Bike Week in Daytona Beach, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago at least. And we're in the infield in Daytona International Raceway. Big concert, big stage. I don't know, 60, 70,000 people there. And we're playing Shoot 'Em Down. I remember that. And after the guitar solo, I'm doing this back and forth thing. And the neck with the strings on it, the headstock just goes... it's gone. I mean, it just snapped off and put it down, picked up another.
It sounded really weird too. It was really like, and also that Thunderbird bass. Remember the real nice Thunderbird bass?
That fell over. I didn't break it.
Oh, really? Because all of a sudden I saw that.
No. One of our idiot crew members tripped on the cable and it fell over.
And you were able to get it fixed, but I remember.
Oh yeah, it's done. It's in beautiful shape, of course.
Put it to sleep after that.
Yeah. But I've cracked bodies a few times. You know, physically like go like this. So
I mean, the way you play is so physical. It's like
it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's pretty. I a lot of times I couldn't look at him because I would start cracking up because that's bitch slapping the face. Like I kind of ignored looking at, and then bending the microphone.
You bend the neck like
one time I looked over.
It happened to me twice already. Using the neck as a whammy bar.
The microphone.
No, what are you gonna do? I'm so actually smash guitars. They break because I'm being kind of rough on the guitar.
We have to pay for a lot of mics.
Yeah, and a lot of mic stands too. Use a mic stand on the bass percussively and
on the side going
and then twisting it around in circles and throwing it.
Jesus Christ.
And it's a real mic stand. It's not a gooseneck. It's a real solid steel mic stand. So yeah.
Well, they started putting the rubber thing on it after a while.
Yeah, and that didn't help because I would still shatter the fretboards on these guitars. I was really hitting it.
It was a little. Well, it would make the bass last a little longer.
What's that?
Because the metal, like hitting the metal, is with the rubber, some kind of like looked like a hose.
Yeah.
Mic stand. Our mics were pretty funny looking.
I used to put heater hose on the top piece of the mic stand. So because the problem was if you just used metal on the guitar, I was cutting the strings, hit it twice, and all the strings would just fall off the guitar. It's like, all right, I can't keep doing that. I need a guitar for the rest of the song. Plus, I never had a road crew that could change the strings fast enough to get the guitar back to me. So, and he only had one other one, so I had to be careful with that one.
Insane.
Yeah. Right? You got to short cut off the press.
Crazy.
Every other show. So
all right. Eddie, you're up. Number 5. What do you got?
Okay, I'm gonna say King of the Fools on Come Out and Play album. This was Dieter Dirk's idea. At the time, there was no sustaining act pickup, but there was a thing called an EBO, and you used a 9-volt magnet. I don't know if you guys ever seen one, Joey.
Yeah.
Or ever saw Paulie use one, but the guys in the Good Rats were using it in the beginning. First time I saw somebody using it, so I bought one, and basically you have to hold it over the string, and it vibrates the string and keeps it going, so you could just play one. The thing is that you had to do a lot of stuff on one string. So I did like 3 or 4 part harmonies for the intro. It's like a real theme solo kind of song, because that's the kind of solos I came up with. Very theme, solos you could sing. That's the kind of way I play. So, and Leslie and Clapton, guys like that gave me that influence. But anyway, Dieter Dirk said, why don't you use an EBO on that? So then I worked, I took a day or so to come up with the main part, and then I harmonized to it. And, about a year or so ago, I listened to it, but it just came up by mistake on my phone. I think I was in the car, and I heard it, and I go like, wow, that, sometimes you do something that you don't hear for a long time, and you go, wow, that was really cool. I said that, I was like, and then remember how it was a hard job. It was hard to do, I mean.
Yeah, it was real hard. Eddie did an amazing job. But when Dieter Dirks suggested it, he said, Eddie, why don't you use an EBO? Eddie goes, I already got 2. I got 2.
Hold on.
Yeah. There you go. You keep that around.
Got 2 EBOs.
Yeah. So that's my number 5, and that's a pretty deep cut.
Without a doubt. Eddie. Yeah. I think you should probably, one of your favorites should have been Heroes, right? What you heard on the guitar solo, right?
The guitars, Heroes are hard to find.
And you were in the minivan and you played it for your family?
Yeah, that's the one that you guys melted the solo. Like, they sent me the tape to hear the final mix. And, I'm with my kids. It was a cassette. So we're listening, it sounded real good. We're driving, and all of a sudden I'm saying, check this out, because it was one of those, real melody solos. And I think I harmonized on it too. And all of a sudden in the middle of it, it starts melting. They just put some effect. It sounded like a melting solo. And then D going, Eddie Ojeda. I'm horrified because I thought the tape got stuck or something, and then all of a sudden I hear D going.
Family's in the minivan,
and like everybody, the kids were crying. It was pretty funny. I wasn't expecting that
song, right? And Eddie did an amazing job on the song. Amazing solo, just great stuff. It was soaring. It was great. So I look at George, the engineer at the time. I said, we can't give this to Eddie like this. We gotta mess up.
Oh my God.
When D came in to do the vocal, he did some funny stuff over Eddie's guitar solo, and we put it in different places and turned it upside down and mixed his guitar solo like it was in a blender. And the weirdest couldn't even tell what key it was in. And Eddie's
Yeah,
like,
it was just,
hey, this is the cassette of the new song, and he put it in, and his whole family was in the minivan.
I didn't hear it because that's the way that we
He
hadn't.
didn't even hear it. He didn't listen to it ahead of time.
Then they sent me the real one. I was like,
It really was. It was great to hear his reaction.
at first I thought something happened to the tape. It got stuck. You know how tapes used to get messed up. But then I just, once I heard, oh yeah, D said, I'm Eddie Ojeda.
Did you keep that cassette?
I have it somewhere, man.
That would be funny to listen back to.
On one of the hard drives, I have that still stashed away.
There's a couple of things that were pretty funny. That also, when we did Stay Hungry, Workman used to do some pretty funny stuff at night. This guy never slept. I think he just did cocaine like 24 hours.
Jack and Coke and real Coke.
Yeah, like Coke, like Jack Daniels on Coke
Right.
all day long from the morning. I never saw him eat. Did you ever see him eat?
Oh,
I don't think I ever saw him eat food.
Wow.
And he was just 90 miles an hour. I mean, he was a great engineer, like super fast. I mean, he did all the Queen stuff too. He worked with Queen and a lot of bands. Top guy. And I think he was living with Cherry Curry at the time, wasn't he?
Mhm.
From the Runaways.
yeah.
We were recording at the, first it started at the, we went from one studio to, didn't we go to Westlake? We finally ended up at Westlake.
We started in the city, in Manhattan, remember?
Right, we started in Manhattan.
Right.
Then we went
We
to LA.
figured it because we were going to do the videos in LA. So they went to LA. I went with them, remember? And you guys came a few days later because I was helping them, with stuff on the album. And and it was Jeff Workman. He always had a little refrigerator in the control room that he had Jack and Coke in.
Jack Daniels, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was nonstop. By like 1 o'clock, he was torched.
Yeah, but he could work. You know what I mean? So nobody
doing it. He was a functional,
Wow.
Yeah, because he was
really was.
able to function perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
probably, I don't think he's around anymore because I'm sure his liver just gave in.
I mean, he obviously did a good job, but right, that's a pretty big record, right?
Yeah, he did a great job. He did funny stuff, man. He used to go home and do these little funny mixes, and just every day he would do something funny. A great guy to work with. He was a great, super engineer.
I know it's hard to pick something off that album that's a deep cut, but that's going to be my number 5. I'm going with one of my favorite riffs, The Beast.
You better run, forget your pride. Don't make a stand, just step aside. If you don't have what it takes, don't try to play, you'll lose your stakes. Remember this at least, it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast.
So heavy, so mean. Is it a deep cut? I don't know. You guys tell me, but I always loved that song. I feel like it never got the recognition that it deserved.
Well, in the festivals around the world, and especially Europe, we played the song often. It wasn't a big
We
song.
played it all the time. We did that every night. It was a big song.
Time.
It was a big song.
We didn't do Destroyer, we did The Beast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't do both of them in the same set. But if
Right.
we did Destroyer, we did The Beast, and if we did The Beast, we didn't do Destroyer.
Right, it had that same vibe, right?
It's a similar vibe, but a very different songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was that song was that's one of those songs that always came out well. The acoustics, the dynamics. Some songs turn into like a blare, and then some songs that just are very controlled. That just sound very tight. It was always one of those songs. Just the way it built it. Everything would build up. It was cool. Same thing with. So like you said, it's kind of hard to say because SMF too is on that album.
Yeah, I mean, and even that is that something you think because lyrically, why do you think the record label doesn't go with that too as a single? Is it because of the lyric?
Well, we said SMF.
Yeah, but still, is it because of, what you're implying? Because that seems to me like such a logical next song on that record. Put another single out.
Would have been good, especially towards when we were live. We used to go into like a little samba at the end, like down, down, down. I used to do the samba because I wanted to get a guy with congas. Just bring a conga player out for that scene. For one song, we should have got a conga guy. The reunion will bring out congas for that.
Listen, if you need a conga player, I'm in.
Okay, we'll bring you to play congas.
If we're not there, Joey, start without us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. I'll set up.
Yeah, that's it.
So just a quick pause. So obviously, I know we're in 45 minutes already. We're only on number 5. I don't want to keep you guys all night. So if you want,
we should be able to wrap this up by the time the sun.
Well, Ernie doesn't stop talking. That's why.
Well, we talk a lot.
Ernie, knock it off.
Ernie.
So let's go to number 4.
Crap,
Let's just go to number 4.
So if you want, Ernie, why don't we do this for this next round? Let's do 4, 3, 2. Give me your next 3 right in a row, and then we'll end with number 1. Right? Was that okay, guys?
Yeah, that sounds okay.
All right, Ernie, give me your next 3. Give it to me.
All right, my number 4 was 30. My number 3. That's gonna be another. You gotta make fun of this one again. Be cruel to your school.
Interesting.
Come on, Alice Cooper and Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And my number 2 was Under the Blade.
And Brian.
Brian Seltzer, that's right.
I played solo. Yeah.
I don't know about Under the Blade being a deep cut, Ernie.
Oh, come on. It wasn't a single anywhere.
It wasn't, but it was a very big song.
Huge. If that was a deep cut, that would be on my list. Ernie, you messed up.
Mark, if you want me to change it, just say so.
Ern, Under the Blade.
Choices, it's okay.
Okay.
Under the Blade is awesome. One of the best songs ever made. Okay.
I mean, you guys had to have played that every night, right? Under the Blade?
Every single
Played at every single show we've ever done, unless it was a very short set.
Wow. Crazy.
The songs that we played
every night. It was once in a while it would really take off. Like I don't know if AJ had a lot of coffee that night.
I believe, I believe. I think the whole band believes that we were really the guys back in the 70s that invented speed metal.
Oh, 100%.
Because I would listen back to these shows going, and this is without any methamphetamines or drugs or alcohol, and it was so fast it was a blur. I remember standing next to Eddie when we do the riff, and we couldn't believe we got through it.
Now, me being a drummer, I have to ask: is it intentional on some songs, or is AJ just going crazy?
I mean, we can't blame it on AJ.
It was D and A. Like D would kind of.
And it's not a blame. We always ran out our tempos and meters according to how D was performing.
Right.
Watch him how he bounces up and down, and he would sometimes go like this with his hand. I mean, or slower. But if you pretty much followed him, that's where it was. So
it just seemed right. Yeah.
I mean, he never did drugs, but nights were like
thank God.
fast. Watch AJ. You couldn't see his hands.
I know, crazy.
I mean, the piece was just rocket ship. Oh yeah, we were fast.
Even
he got through it all.
I mean, speaking of underrated, he's got to be one of the most underrated drummers of all time. He really,
AJ Pirro, definitely
incredible. All right, Rob, give us your 4, 3, 2.
Okay, number 4. Dedicated all the hard work because nothing was ever given to Sister. They came up the ranks. People hated them because they did things the right way and they got where they are. So I'm going to go with You Want What We Got on number 4. Wow. You Want What We Got, number 4, okay?
Yeah.
I know what you want. You want what we got. I know what you
right? They came through the ranks. That's why it means a lot to me. I'm a big fan of actually coming up the ranks, and they did it the right way. Nothing was ever given to them. Number 3 falls in that I am, I me category. I might get yelled at. The animal might yell at me on this one, but I'll never grow up.
I'll never grow up. I'll never grow up. I'll never grow up now.
Wow.
Okay, that's kind of deep.
And
No, that's deep,
Number-
right? That's deep, I think.
Very, yeah.
It's an early song, yeah.
Yeah.
and number 2, what you don't know.
What you don't know sure can hurt you. What you can't see makes you scream. What you don't know sure can hurt you. What you don't have is what you dream.
But you don't know, yeah.
What you don't is in a deep song, though.
It's
With
a-
that song for years.
Right.
I know.
But it is like, it's kind of, deep cuts are kind of hard to pick.
They are very hard.
You know, did I say my number 4 one yet? I'm going to say Tonight from,
Definitely.
that was
Love
a
it.
really good song. You know,
Are you ready for a hard time? Are you ready for the bomb to top them all? Are you ready for the long ride? Are you ready for the rise before the fall? Are you ready for the big game? Are you ready for the coup d'etat and all? Are you ready for the long train? Are you ready for the final curtain? Well, we're gonna kill 'em, gonna stop 'em tonight. Yeah, we're gonna thrill 'em, gonna do 'em up right. Oh, we're gonna take 'em, gonna give 'em a fright. Tonight, 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 tonight. We're gonna lose control tonight.
Tonight and
The verses are so killer in that.
yeah, it's and off of Come Out and Play, I would, you know, Come Out and Play was kind of a deep cut, even though because we didn't
Yeah.
do it that much.
Oh, welcome to our show. Oh, welcome to our life. Just follow me and you'll set yourself free. Now won't you come out and play?
So that was probably my 4 and 3. And
One more, number 2.
number 2, I would probably say what's the song after I Wanna Rock? I can't think of it right now.
After I Want to Rock?
Yeah, on side B of Stay Hungry.
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Is
I gotta look at an album.
it the price? The price is, I think.
I think it's what's the one after the price?
Don't Let Me Down.
Don't Let Me Down. Yeah, that's another. That's probably my number. Where am I up to? Number 2 or 3?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's number 2.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
Don't Let Me Down. And
No, wait, don't say number 1 yet. We'll go one a round table again. We'll finish it off with number 1.
okay.
Mark, what do you got? 4, 3, 2.
4, 3, 2, not necessarily in this order, would be Heroes Are Hard to Find.
Everybody says they wanna change the world. Everybody's got a band into one pearl. Man, woman, boy, and girl. On the corner, down the road, and up the block, there's somebody who needs some of what you got, and they ain't asking for a lot. Well, God knows you can heal the pain
I agree with 30. I like that song a lot.
Ooh, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, Ernie, I mean.
Oh, me.
And Honey Look Twice.
All right. Absolutely.
That's deep. That's back from our club days. That's an original.
Yeah, well, I don't know that. Is that on an official release?
I don't think that's an official release.
In one place. I know I did it.
One of the live ones? Or is it on Still Hungry? No, right?
It was never recorded in the studio. It was a live song. It was original. We only did live. We never officially recorded it. But it did come from one of our shows that we did in the club days. And I think that's where it exists, on club days.
That boy coming down the street, the stuff his trust is good enough to eat. The girls are tearing the pants are set on fire. Everyone thought they've only one desire. Well, honey look twice, honey look three times. You got the reason, I got the rhyme. Well, honey look twice, honey look three more times.
So when you guys are putting together Under the Blade, you obviously have a lot of songs to choose from. How do you what makes the record and what doesn't? How do you guys figure that out?
We used to do like short versions of the songs.
We had Pete Way was the producer, and he listened to the songs with us, and it was kind of like the five of us and Pete Way decided what was going to be put on the album. So there was a lot of contenders, but
and friends and family too. We'd have people pick their favorites.
I mean, what was put on the album, I think everybody agreed to pretty much. Say, yeah, this is probably the best we have to offer at this time.
Yeah.
And we were already playing a lot of those songs in the clubs as originals.
Right.
The time I joined the band, almost like 40% of the night was originals. We were one club band that could do that because everybody knew the song. So we played back in the clubs. Under the Blade was played every single night.
Yeah, that was a big song.
And how many years? So how many years do you guys play that song before the release? Couple years, right?
More than a couple of years. D actually came.
It was the first album, actually.
Right, it was our first.
Right, but you were playing it live before then, right?
Yeah, way before that.
Twisted was playing that song for at least a year before I got in the band, and I got in the band late '78. So I want to say that it was probably Eddie. Was that the first original that TS played? Because that was before me.
No. Rock and Roll Saviors was probably the first song to come back.
But yeah,
the songs we ever did.
Under the Blade as a song when I joined the band, because I had seen the band many, many times and worked with the band. So yeah, they were already playing Under the Blade.
The song was about me having surgery.
Yeah.
He wrote the song about it. Wasn't sadomasochism.
Really? Is that really what it's about?
Eddie had a throat surgery.
And D said, I'm gonna write, because I was really scared. It was the first time I had surgery. I'm like, so I was like terrified. D said, don't worry, man. I got a song about
what?
This.
Rob, did you know this?
No way. Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
If you listen to the words, you know you're not going home tonight. It's like it was, and then the PMRC made a big thing about it being sadomasochism.
Of course, right.
That's in your head.
We were laughing, but it's not. Eddie throat surgery, and the best part about that is Eddie couldn't talk for weeks. We didn't have to listen to him.
That sucked because I had a pad I had to write on, and this guy would draw dicks balls on it. And
he was like,
that's wild.
And to have an argument where you're writing on a pad, you're like, fuck you. I just should have had a fuck you sign,
Is this publicly known, this story? I don't think I've ever heard this story.
This isn't no secret. We've talked about it.
It's been around. People, it's funny, some people don't know that, but yeah, it's about me.
Wow. I mean, even Mark, even the stuff with you joining the band a little later on, I didn't know that stuff until I watched the doc. I never knew any of that.
Oh, okay.
A funny little trivia thing that you may want to. The guy when I was in the hospital, I had to stay like 2 days in the hospital. The guy next to me, his name was Edgar Winter.
Really, Edgar Winter, or just his name?
Edgar Winter. At first, I saw Edgar Winter. I'm like, it wasn't Edgar Winter. Maybe it was his grandfather, but it wasn't really Edgar Winter. But if somebody came to visit me, I'd say, "Hey, man, the Winter's right next to me."
Incredible.
Little trivia there.
Speaking of the doc, so obviously the doc ends right before you guys explode, right? Any chance we get from there out in another doc?
What do you mean?
Meaning, any chance another doc part 2 picks up, from the release of Stay Hungry all the way through the reunion and all that stuff?
You're talking about the documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, Doc.
There was supposed to be, excuse me, there was supposed to be someone or a production company that was going to start where that one left off, which is basically around the time that AJ joined the band. It didn't happen. Is it going to happen? I have no idea. Nobody's talking to us about
Never
it.
filmed, which was ridiculous. The Come Out and Play tour was such an elaborate, fancy-ass $300,000 stage. And at that time, a $300,000 stage was like $2 million stage now, So, I mean, we had the building, the car on stage, the manhole thing. And for some reason, nobody said, we should film this.
It was never pro shot?
Never.
No,
It was
never shot it.
It was never pro shot.
So
what about some of those arenas that have like the in-house pro shot cameras running?
Later in
in the 80s.
The 80s. And they didn't do that. They really didn't do that.
Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, screens are everywhere now, but people end up looking at the screen and not even like looking at the stage anymore.
Yeah, you're right. It's a shame.
Yeah, but I mean, it is good to be able to see people on the screen, but none of that stuff there were never in-house cameras, never.
Man.
Cameras everywhere. We might be taking a shit somewhere and there's a camera.
You're right. All right, so moving. So I'll give you my quick 4, 3, 2. So again, a lot of these were named already. Wake Up the Sleeping Giant, I think Rob mentioned earlier. Such a killer opening track to that record. I know there's a lot of controversy on that record, but I think it's such a great record. It really is. And another one for me is off Come Out and Play. Again, this is not deep because it's I think it was a single maybe in the UK too. You Want What We Got. So, I mean, it's hook after hook after hook. These are These should be monster hit songs. And for I don't know if it was the label. So at the time Come Out and Play comes out, does the label just drop the ball? What happens?
On which album?
On Come Out and Play.
Come Out and Play.
Because I feel like there's I mean, obviously you come out with with the singles, but I feel like there's so many more tracks on there that should be released.
I think we kind of jumped the gun with Come Out and Play. I think we went to big production too quickly.
Yeah.
We should have played smaller rooms, like maybe 5,000 seaters instead of trying to go into the Coliseums right away. With a smaller production. But when after Stay Hungry, the success of Stay Hungry, we just thought like, hey, this is gonna, and Come Out and Play was a great album. Dieter did a great job on it.
The first,
I was surprised. I was kind of surprised.
Play.
So maybe I think the record. I felt like we didn't get much support. Like they just kind of put it out there and say, let it do what it does. Which is what happened with Stay Hungry. They couldn't stop it. It just
right.
They didn't do anything. It just took off on its own, and then we proved ourselves. But we Come Out and Play. I felt like they said, well, they know what happened with Stay Hungry, so we don't have to do anything here either. Let them do it.
Eddie's being polite.
Maybe.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The first single off of Come Out and Play was Leader of the Pack.
Oh, yeah, that was a mistake.
And it was a bomb.
It was awesome.
I know What You Want would have been better. That should have been the single.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, is that purely the label doing that as the single, or you guys have say in that?
I don't know if it was both of our faults. I don't know why we did Leader of the Pack. I mean, it was a fun song to do live as a cover song.
I didn't want to do, although it's a great song, I didn't want to do it on the album. We did it in the club days, and it was a novelty.
Sure.
Yeah, it was like fun.
As a,
Everybody does some cover stuff. I mean, I don't even look at Diver Down. I mean,
yeah.
Van
Yeah, it's all
Halen,
covers. Yeah, it's great.
a whole album in the middle of the tremendous success. Even though they got a lot of crap for it, but they put out a whole album of covers, you know. So, you know, it was fun to do covers once in a while. The songs that you kind of grew up with, and you know, metal them out, is what we did. And but it was a mistake. I thought we were going to do "I Know What You Want" because it would have followed up perfectly after, you know, "I Want to Rock."
Yeah, it's the same message. You know, again, when Stay Hungry's hot, you guys are the biggest band in the world, especially because of MTV. MTV is so hot at this time. Your videos are on every 2 seconds, and they're the biggest videos on MTV. Right? You would think as soon as Come Out and Play comes out, that's the kind of song they want. They want to go right for that, you know, rebellious type of song, you know, just like the other two, the big monster hits.
Yeah. "I Know What You Want." I really thought that's the one. And then "Be Cruel to Your School," I think we followed up with. And that, for the longest time, I thought we were singing "Be Cool to Your School." And I find out, like, I said, well, no wonder it's not a hit. That would be cruel. You know, I was like pissed off. I said, why you said "be cruel"? Couldn't you say "be cool to your school"? You know, because like, and MTV banned it because we had the guy from that did that horror movie, that very Robert, what's his name, Romero.
Right.
You know the zombie movie he made, very famous guy.
Right.
He did all the zombies, and you know, so we did zombies in the school, and Alice Cooper was in it.
What are you listening to?
It's funny because Alice Cooper hadn't worn that makeup in like 15 years or so.
Oh, is that the first time he wore it again? Wow.
First time that for that video, he put on the whole Alice thing with the whip, with the, you know, with the, and I remember on the bus we were hanging out. He was like, I haven't put on this makeup in 15 years, 15 or 20 years.
Wow.
Or like, and then after that, he started touring again, put a band together and he revised his career. You know,
Yeah.
Came back stronger than ever. You know, I'm not saying we because of.
No, listen, you definitely touched.
him.
Yeah, you definitely helped him. You guys were hot as can be then, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have him. You know, like.
I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan, and I would say that did it. Was that video actually did bring him back? He was nobody for like 4 or 5 years at that time.
Because it made him go do it again. You know, it made him go out.
He did.
You know, he cleaned up his act and he was ready to go out on the road again. And
Did you guys approach Alice to do it? Is that how it happened?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was that's like one of his idols.
Sure.
So we approached him, and you know, he was totally into it. It was
Amazing.
great. Yeah. But you know, the zombie thing, I don't know why it was banned. I mean, when I see some of the shit that's on MTV now,
Right. Why was that banned and Thriller was okay?
you could Be Cruel to Your School. You could have played in church.
Yeah.
I mean, it was compared to some of the stuff that you see now, even in regular movies. You know, it's like these soft, unnecessary soft porno. You know, that's in every. I know it's going to happen. You don't have to don't waste 5 minutes. Oh, let's kill 5 minutes in this movie.
There was a lot of speculation that it was because Dee did so well with the whole court thing, and the politics came in with the MTV thing.
Yeah, and that was a mistake too. We should have stayed away from that.
Wow. I didn't even. Yeah, you're right. Right around that time, right?
Yeah.
Because that hurt us, you know, because
Yep.
I think they definitely had something to do with it. I thought our phones were tapped and all kinds of shit was going on.
Wow.
Cool.
My phone wasn't tapped.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't have one. They couldn't tap it.
You couldn't tap your phone. You're untappable.
That's right.
It was just weird, like how, because you know, you once you go and get into the politics thing, you know, they have a lot of control over radio stations and.
Yeah. Even today, dude. Same thing. You say the wrong thing today, you're done. You're blackballed. That's it.
Exactly.
But but look at some of the
Sad.
albums come out, and in fact, putting those parental warnings on the albums just made them want to sell more.
Of course, that's what kids looked for those and said, "Oh, all right, that's what I want to buy now."
Look at the video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows, man?
All right, on that note, let's go. We got our number one, guys. Ernie, you're up. What do you got?
Shoot him down.
Shoot 'em down, shoot 'em down. Shoot 'em down, shoot 'em down. Shoot 'em down, shoot 'em down. Shoot 'em down to the ground.
Shoot him down.
Not a deep cut, man.
It's not
Tell him, Mark.
Not shoot him down. Wait a minute.
Shoot him down. I'm gonna
Even
shoot.
Motorhead covered that song, you know. So.
Ernie, Mark's going to reach through the screen and choke you. You better change your pick.
Why? Come on, Ernie. Come up with it.
Okay, come back.
I've never heard it.
Watch this. I'm gonna reach right into him.
I'll add a little effect there. It'll be nice.
There you go.
All right, Rob, you got to do better than that. You got to be better than your big brother here.
I gotta add my number. I gotta put my number one. We gotta go to my Only Stay Hungry song because there's no deep cuts on that album, in my opinion. Because now that album is the best album ever made. There's no deep cuts, but I have to throw this song in there. I gotta support Stay Hungry, and I gotta go with Street Justice.
Oh yes,
Great song, man.
Yeah, I think if there's a deep cut on that, it's probably that, right?
Yeah, it's probably that.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah. Call for street justice.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, if you guys
How
got to,
many have to die? Call for Street Justice.
if you guys got to pick out of the brothers, which brother do you like better,
Pick out of the brothers.
Ernie or Rob? I think Ernie's getting voted off the island here.
He's
Probably gonna have to go with Rob. Maybe,
open his mouth.
Thank Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, Mark, what do you got? Your number one.
Yeah, right.
What's your number one, Mark?
Yeah, right.
Got you where we want you, and we're never letting go. We trapped you in our web now. Aren't you old enough to know? So stomp your hands and clap your feet. Do a dance, look into the beat. Yeah, right. We got you now. Yeah, right. We got you now.
Which one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Mark, that's a great one.
He's kissing ass now, Mark. Don't let him do it.
I didn't hear what he
That song completely.
said.
I'll have to say,
Fox.
Day of the Rocker.
Oh, great song.
From the Under the Blade.
Yeah.
That kicks ass. And I like the solo idea. Very bluesy kind of.
For me, maybe even, with all the hits included, one of my favorite Twisted songs ever, I've Had Enough.
You want to run around all night. You have your way, or you scream and fight. You wanna live, but don't wanna give. I've had enough of all the right.
the verse in that song with the bass drive, it's just such a perfect verse. The melody in that song is so good. Love it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, right. What album is it right on? I forgot.
Love Is for
It's
Suckers.
Love Is for Suckers, yeah.
Oh, right. It is on Love Is for Suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, if I had to pick, like, just, we usually do an honorable mention, but I know everyone's pressed for time. We're running out of time. To me, the whole Lovers for Suckers record never got its due. There's so many hit songs on that. Me and the Boys, One Bad Habit. There's so many songs on there. They're just hook after hook after hook. Hot Love.
Really good single, you know?
I'm So Hot for You. Oh, there's just a lot of hooky hit songs. Is it Under the Blade? Is as heavy and grinding as Under the Blade? Of course not. But you're talking 1987. You're writing hit songs.
Yeah.
There's
Bo
a
did a
lot
good
of
job.
songs. There's a bunch of songs. Like you go back to Can't Stop Rock and Roll and you take like A Knife in the Back.
Yeah.
Ride to Live, Live to Ride.
Yeah.
Talk about great songs.
I mean, I understand the Love Is for Suckers. It was, it was really good. Unfortunately, I think the vibe wasn't good because of what, even though Bo did he's an excellent producer. He did a great job, but it was too slick. He didn't understand the band,
Right.
And I'm kind of cool to make a slick album, but it was too slick, but even though there were some great songs on it, but we kind of never played anything. I think the only song we ever, once in a while, we did Tonight in the first tour, and I think we did Hot Love, and Wake Up the Sleeping Giant.
Throughout the whole reunion, you guys never touched that record?
Nope. Just
Very
we started doing
very rare.
Wake Up the Sleeping Giant for like a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Giant.
It's been,
Did it go, did you do it overseas? I bet it went over well because people never even heard it live before, right?
people didn't know it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
People
wasn't
didn't know it.
well recognized overseas.
Yeah, the album just didn't get the recognition, like you said. So
Yeah.
when it doesn't get that recognition, you don't.
Yeah, you dump it, right. So here were
You
Portnoy's picks. You mentioned most of them already. Come Back, Rock and Roll Saviors, At the White Castle, What You Don't Know, and Mark just mentioned it like a knife in the back. Those are his 5.
Don't turn around. Ignore that sound. Just lie on this rack. Are you starting to crack? I need this like a knife in the back. I need.
Yeah.
Ride to Live to Ride. We play those songs occasionally. Yeah.
I used to love starting that song.
Right.
Great stuff.
Like the chicken.
Guys, again, I can't thank you enough for being on. It's an absolute honor to have both, never mind one of you, but both of you on, and to talk Twisted.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
2 samurai tonight.
And Mark and Eddie, any last words for the brothers over here? What do you got for them?
Well, thanks for being such supporters of the band. We appreciate it. I mean, you really know your stuff. You probably know more than me. More than me. Because when you're in a band, it's hard to be a fan. I mean, you just like what you do and you do your best at it. But, you don't go that deep into it. So, just tend to forget certain things.
Yeah, the very last time that I saw my old bass player, David Z, we did a little reunion show for Paulie's 40th birthday party. And I actually had an argument with him that what the name of our second record was. I could not think of the name of, I swear to God, I didn't know the name of our second record. And he was screaming at me, "What are you, a stupid moron? How do you not know the name of your own album?" And it's like Eddie just said, sometimes with your own music, you forget, you're not thinking, songs and albums kind of blend into each other after a while.
Yeah, you have to kind of think about it, as where if you really like a band, you'll know, you look at it differently, you know what I mean? You memorize the songs a lot more than even guys in a band would, So happens. But that's funny. That's sad because unfortunately nobody knew that was gonna happen to Dave.
Crazy.
We missed
Mark, Eddie's obviously way too nice. Can you please threaten the brothers for me?
Well, I don't know why you have Ernie on. Get up space. Actually, you guys were a lot of fun. Really, your answers were a lot of fun. Obviously, you know your TS history and song, so that's a real lot. Because I can't tell you how many times you get on a show and people go, because they really know what they're talking about. Oh yeah, what was the name of that song? What song? You know what song I'm talking about?
The big one, the hit.
Which one are you talking about? One of the semi-hits. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No, you guys were great.
I won't feel the noise.
No.
That's happened a lot.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. And Joey, thank you so much for having us on. You know, Eddie and I love doing this stuff, especially when there's a lot of comedy involved. You know,
that's all this show is, unfortunately. All this show is comedy.
Man, it's called entertainment.
Ernie, any last words?
No, I just it was a great time. Well, the stories were deep cuts.
You're right.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It brought up a lot of memories, you know.
Learning what happened for Under the Blade to me makes the whole night. I can't wait. It's like, wow, what the? I got to go back and listen to the lyrics now.
Yeah, definitely. You'll hear it. It's not about beating the shit out of somebody with a whip. They fought in Washington.
We didn't cut anybody. It was a scalpel that the surgeon.
Crazy.
That's what Under the Blade was. Sure.
Rob, what do you got? Any last words?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little soft on here, Joe. But you know, like Joe, I can't thank you enough for making this happen. I'm still like pinching myself. These guys are my idols, and basically, I can honestly say this in a cliche. This is like my bucket list right here, to have some sort of conversation with these guys. And I can't thank you enough, and I just can't believe this happened tonight. That's all.
Well, instead of pinching yourself, just take a ball-peen hammer and hit your big toe with it.
I will, Mark.
Yeah, Mark can probably drive. Are you guys in New Jersey or Long Island?
I'm in Queens, Howard Beach, Queens.
Oh, there you go.
So Mark can drive to your house or drive to Ernie's house.
Mark, you could throw a hammer from where you are to hit him.
You can go drive there and choke him.
Connections. I don't even got to do it myself.
Yeah.
Rob,
I'm sure you guys heard of New Park Pizza, right?
Yeah, you go.
Rob, just text the animal your address later. He'll send someone over to hit you with a hammer.
No problem. It'll be my pleasure, my honor. And then after he hits me with a hammer, I want to take him to Peter Luger's, okay?
Mark, can you sign that hammer after you hit me, please?
Oh, you won't be in any shape to go to Peter Luger's.
Hey, Eddie, quick question. Eddie, how's the hot sauce going?
It's doing okay. You know, it's a lot of competition in the hot
I know.
sauce.
I had the apple. It's so delicious. I brought it into work. The guys loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, people really like it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of competition. The apple I'm not doing anymore because it was slow. Didn't move as fast as the other two.
Yeah.
Because it was too mild for a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah, but the cherry. But there's nothing out there. But there's nothing.
Hi, man.
But you know something? There's nothing out there with that taste, like with the cherry and the apple. It's actually, believe it or not, nobody invented anything like that, like yours. Maybe they can't do it. But it's delicious. The cherry, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass.
Wow.
It really is.
I wanted an award for that.
Testimonials on your hot sauce, man. I mean, what else you want? There's a commercial for you.
I want an award.
Yeah,
I want an award for it. So, you know, the cherries.
Cherries, yeah.
And the
awesome.
Yeah. But,
Eddie, that face could sell some hot sauce for you. You look at that face. That could be the new face on your bottle.
On the bottle.
It's like a smacked ass.
Like a bag of hammers. Right?
And Eddie, thank you so much. Mark, thank you so much.
Mark,
Thank
please.
you so much for making this happen. And Joe, by you putting this together,
I love you.
Did it.
Rob, I love you. You know I had to have you on.
Robin, You got
love all you guys.
this on Joey, all right? He's responsible for this mess.
I had to have Rob on. I knew he would. This would make his life. I had to do it.
My life.
Take Joey to Peter
You
Lucas.
guys, man, thank you for everything. A lot of
Mark, if you can, tell my listeners about your shows, your podcast. Where can they find you every week?
Well, you can find us, of course, through Facebook, but it's area22productions.com. I have 2 great shows on right now. On a Monday night at 7 p.m. New York time is Rollin' With, which I have 2 co-hosts, Rob Rush and Billy Mira. And on Tuesday night at 7 p.m., I have my own show called 22 Now, which you've been on, Joey, and you'll be on it again in the near future. And Eddie. Oh, Eddie's been on my show a number of times. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Eddie's going to come back on again, without a doubt.
I've been right there, right by the pizza oven next to you.
Eddie, how about you? What's going on with you lately? Anything you want to plug? Anything with the hot sauce to give us?
Right at the moment, I'm just kind of working on a few ideas. You know, people have approached me about doing a book, but there's so many books out, so that's something I got to think about.
Eddie's trying to heal.
So doing the hot
Heal
sauce.
his foot.
Yes.
It sounds like an Under the Blade 2
Yeah,
is in the
well-
works, Eddie.
Under the blade too. Yeah, well, I just had foot surgery, so
Yeah. And
Perfect.
feel better, Eddie. Feel
I
better.
put a picture of my foot on the album cover.
It's called Under the Foot.
Feel better.
I just saw an album today called Under the Guillotine. I said, gee, where did they get that idea?
Wow.
And it's a guillotine with blood all over it. And I'm like,
Oh,
I'm sure they heard Under the Blade. So they said, hey, man, why don't we do Under the Guillotine? European band must.
Guys, so amazing. Everyone out there, thanks for tuning in. Please send your questions, anything you have for Mark and Eddie, to top5 with Joey Cassata at gmail.com. That's top5 with Joey Cassata at gmail.com. Send us your favorite Twisted Deep Cuts. I'd love to hear, again, that's a part of my show that I love so much. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on some of these lists that we do. It's, sometimes there's so many things you forget about. And I love to hear what other people have to say. Eddie.
Me too. I agree with you. Yeah. Send me a copy.
yeah.
I will. Guys, thank you so much again. My brothers, I will talk to you soon. Mark, I know we have a possible song coming out in the near future.
Yeah, well, we have, yes, we do. I just got the vocals tonight while I was on the show.
Oh.
I'm looking at my phone about it. So, yes, I'll get you very soon there, Joey. Let you know what's going on.
I can't wait to hear it. Everyone will hear it soon enough.
Yes.
Paulie's singing on it, right? Paulie.
No, Mark doesn't want that bum singing. Are you crazy? He hates Paulie.
I want on something. Kidding. Eddie, no, we got to get off. But, I didn't realize how much David and Joey in ZO2 loved the fact that I tortured Paulie.
Oh, my God.
Follow me.
I didn't know that either.
They would wait for me to run into Paulie, and, I bullied the hell out of him. Not that I didn't like him or anything, but it was so much fun to torture him.
Oh, there's no more prime target to torture than Paulie. We loved it.
Yeah, it was. I had fun doing it. Usually it's just a normal thing for me. But Paulie was a little bit more fun than just the normal.
I mean, his hair alone. He looks like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company.
I don't want people to think that
No, he's got the short dude.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not him.
Yeah, we don't know what is.
Out of these days, bald, short hair, long hair. It's all in.
But Paulie's a great talent.
Hair.
Songwriter, great guitar player, great singer, without a doubt.
Yeah.
No, we're just busting balls, of course.
It's all in fun. That's all it is. Yeah.
Guys, thank you again so much for coming on. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, good night.
Have a good one, guys.